All right, all right. Peace, y'all. What's up? It's the end Friday, April 18th, end of re-entry week. I was actually trying to move on, so to speak. The back is a little, the surgical site is a little sore, been sore for about a week before we went to the track. My buddy Larry Rumsey sent me some pictures on a text message, and it just the way I'm standing in these photos, you can tell, I can tell, obviously I'm standing in a funny kind of way that probably shows that my back is hurting. I don't know if you guys can see this, but the way I'm leaning over here, the way I'm standing here before I get in the go-kart, the way I'm standing there. Look at how I'm standing and leaning. It's been hurting for a while, and the surgeon said, with all fusion, it's going to continue to degenerate. They fused my L4, L5, so that's the last two, the very bottom two lumbar above your tailbone. And it's going to continue. The next one will degenerate first, and this could continue. If it starts hurting now and it gets worse and worse and worse. If you can't live with it, the only thing you can do is go in and have more fusion done. That doctor is now in Florida, and to be honest, if I have to have this done again, I'll look that guy up. I'll go to Florida and have him do it again, because what he did is kind of, it really is. He's the only one that does it in the form that he did it. And he asked me multiple times in pre-op, are you sure there's no tingling, no pain, no issues at all with your right leg, with your right side? I said, no, man, it's all in the left. It's the nerve damage from my back showing up in my left hip, causing hip pain, or swirls around my thigh, causing issues with the muscles and tendons and nerve damage in my leg, knee, calf. I've got the DVT in that leg, so I've got the neuropathy where it swells and tingling and all that kind of stuff. So I would go look him up, because what he did is he only put screws in the left side of my spine. Screws and rods on one side. And I guess, from what I understand, any doctor that looked at my x-rays said, oh, that was Anthony Cucci. That's kind of his signature or something. I told him, listen, don't screw around, Doc. Put as many screws in there as you have to, because I'm not going to let you to do this again. But we'll see. I'm not going to get too wound up about it yet, but with mowing season starting and knowing what the roughness of this yard does to my back on a riding mower, I'm not looking forward to it. But as you see here, we got a new package today. Just came in. This is I went yesterday and got some molding and stuff for Cherri's bench. Started putting it on yesterday. Going to finish that up today. Got to get her lights. I think she's going to get her lights today and bring them home with her today, so I'll be able to do wire and lights, get her cabinets and everything up this weekend. I know it's Easter weekend. You could call it Passover weekend too, but I don't follow Jewish tradition, and I don't follow Catholic tradition either. So, I don't do the ashes, I don't do the Lent, I don't do none of that stuff. And I'm not saying Easter isn't important, but I'll be abstaining. I'm not going to go meet with the family for Easter. I'll be probably chopping down little trees and weeds and stuff over there on the side of the house and getting it cleaned up. while Cherri's gone all day on Sunday. But you can try to get her room. I get lights and cabinets up. Then it's just a matter of loading the stuff in, right? She bought some foam, big foam squares that snap together for the floor. Kind of, I don't think that's going to work with chairs. I mean, the chairs, if it being foam, they'll actually press into that foam and leave marks and stuff. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. But made a big mess in there yesterday, running a grinder to grind the edge of the bench flat and square to put the trim on. Made a lot of dust. Now I imagine everything she's got on the shelf up above is going to need to be dusted. So I'm going to have to go through that place with shop vac, certainly right away after getting all this trim in place, before we get too far along and get that squared up. So the construction back in operation. Took a day or two just to regain my composure after all this. A lot of stress involved in those track day things. We had a lot of new guys. We were picking up an awful lot, towing back an awful lot, more than any other single day, double day, doesn't matter. Weekend, single day, weekday, doesn't matter. We had a lot of new guys and a lot of people off the trip. But in their defense, the track was slick as a button. We were the first ones on it, and it's usually a bit green in April, but it was pretty tough. I had a hard time with the CRG project cart. The engine, perfect. Joe Barth, hey Joe, what's up? That TM KZ10 pipe speaks perfectly to the highly tuned Vortex RVS 125. It was super happy, man. That motor was good and strong, and I didn't touch a jet. I think once I had to flip the choke on to start it. That was Sunday morning after it sat all night. So other than that, it started right up every time, ran perfect, didn't touch a thing. All the numbers looked good, everything was good. Super happy with the running operation of the cart. Handling, after watching the video multiple times and trying to remember, how things felt and what went on, it might have been just because it was so new that I didn't like it, right? Was not crazy about that. Turn-in was any movement. I mean, any little movement of the steering wheel and the car would turn. And then, it's like you're oversteering and overcorrecting, and the rear end is trying to follow the front end around, and it was unnerving at best. We made some adjustments, but I mean, the track was in such a condition that I don't really think it mattered what you did. You weren't going to get it right. You weren't going to be comfortable. Even the faster guys with experience that have, lots of years of adjusting for different conditions, couldn't really. They were cambering their wheels out, they were trying all kinds of crazy things they don't normally try. The new asphalt was smooth, but slick as a button, because there's no it's still smooth, right? I mean, when the sun gets on it and fades it down, that cream type of thing that you get in concrete on the asphalt from the roller it'll start, the aggregate will start to show, and it'll get grip. Not crazy about what they did at the peak of the turn 9, where you turn down to the apex and and then go toward the hill and go up. Good thing is they fixed that wabonk before, as the track comes back this way to go up the hill. You can drive the line now. I used to go out and around it, and it was so bad. That's gone. They fixed that, but they put that bump right at the top of the crest of turn 9, right on the line. So you probably won't notice it in a car. It may or may not throw you off a little bit. You're going to notice it in a bike. It's going to screw you up in a bike, and it absolutely screws you up in a go-kart. But as you know, now I am officially retired from the karting promoting business aspect, no more track day, test day stuff for me. I have been in contact with Gingerman to try to do something out there in the fall, hoping I can get George, if he's looking in, George from Chicago, where he's a River Valley guy. He's got some connections. Hopefully we can get the Chicago guys to take that over. We got a local Detroit Novi guy in Dan Monahan to take over the running of the Grattan stuff. So it's not going to go away. I mean, well, as long as they work hard, as long as they work as hard as I did, it'll continue. It'll continue on. And maybe, me and Rich can just go out and, we'll have to pay. We haven't had to pay in a long time, other than, when back in the day when we didn't make enough money and I had to pay the balance. But I mean, it all works out in the long run. But we can either decide to be customers, or I'm gonna go back to racing. I don't know if I'm gonna race at Mid Ohio. We'd like to go to Nelson. We'd like to obviously go to Pittsburgh. And there's always that bucket list stuff now, right? I'm 60. I just turned 60, so the bucket list is fully accessible at this point for us. And more than all of that, as I've stated, we're trying to get our nephew Braden into a 206 cadet kart proper. If we got to get him another kart, then we will. Well, I'm going to try to start with the one we got. It needs to be tweaked. The balance in that kart is not right. Weight, front, rear, right, left is not right. So we're going to have to look into that. If we have to, we'll tear it apart and take it over to PKT and have them straighten it, if that's the case. Get a 206 cadet motor on it, and just take them out, sign them up. We get them a proper helmet, a proper suit. Take them out, sign them up, put them at the back of the grid, send them off with the kids. When they wave the green flag, go. Pass as many people as you go as fast as you can. Pass as many people as you can. That'll be our instruction until he starts asking questions. How come this? How come that? I don't want to push him, push, but I want him to be successful. I want him to stick with it. If he's having fun. It's all about having fun. If I'm not having fun because he's not having fun, we're done. And that rhymes. So, yeah, we got our first piece of Cherri's back room in today. That's what this is. It's a heat press for doing transfers, t-shirts, sweatshirts, sweatpants, hoodies, bags that you carry, women carry stuff in, whatever, for all kinds of stuff. It also, we got the 8-in-1, so it does 3 different size cups and hot and cold drink containers. It does an 8-inch plate, a 10-inch plate. You can put pictures and transfers on all that stuff. And so this will be a part of her birthday present, along with the cricket machine, where she'll be, doing her thing. Of course, Big Daddy's going to try the machine out first, because he called Ninja Transfers and actually went online, downloaded some stuff. We got some RPM Speed Sport logos made, big ones, small ones, for, say, a back of a t-shirt or back of a sweatshirt, and then in the chest. We got some nice Vortex stuff in big and small. Obviously, the Repsol logos in big and small. So, yeah, we got a bunch of orange T-shirts we're gonna make up right away for me and Richard and Chuck. Chuck, of course, you got the jacket now, right? We had a little ceremony at the drivers' meeting on Saturday morning where we honored our buddy Chuck, who's been chasing those little white dashed lines down the highway with us for years and years now. Huge help. Push the cart, gas the cart, start the cart, shove me off, pull the wagon, the whole 9 yards. He's a guy he's never owned a go-kart, never really been into it, but he thinks it's cool, and he always liked going with us, and he was a huge help. So we got him an official new RPM Speed Sport, the same jacket I have, the varsity jacket, the blue one with the orange sleeves. So he was tickled. He was tickled about that. He's been wanting a jacket. He's been asking, hey, where's my jacket? Kenny got one and he didn't even care. So Chuck was like, listen, man, hey, and I said, well, if you're good, Chuck, see you get on Santa's list, maybe he'll bring you one. I've been telling him that for at least 10 years. So it was nice to get Chuck his coat, and we'll get him some team gear too, t-shirt, sweatshirt, hoodie, whatever, down the line. But I'm gonna get this thing, run through it, and set it up. Because you can set the temperature, you can set the amount of time it heats and presses and all that kind of stuff, and just proof it out. So when Cherri, wants to start doing this stuff, she'll have my experience from using it to fall back on. So that's it. We're gonna go out and get the rest of her trim up, then vacuum, shop vac, and clean. I mean, there's so much wood dust and stuff in that room. And it's kind of all over my water tanks and stuff. And we've cleaned that stuff off from when we moved in here. It's not nearly as bad as it was when we moved in. I actually shop vacuumed with a brush, a vacuum head with the brush, vacuumed all this much dust and dirt off them, and then mopped the whole tanks down, sides, top, and everything down, and got them good and clean. So, even the water guy said when he came to put water in, hey, wow, this is you really cleaned the joint up. And now that he's seen what we're doing with Cherri's stuff, he's shaking his head, But hey, it is what it is, right? We got to keep moving on. So back to construction. I'll be out there today, getting all that stuff in place. Haven't unloaded the back of the truck from the weekend yet, so I need to get to doing that before we get any rain or anything. It looks pretty gray out there. It's supposed to be 71 today, and we're not supposed to get any rain until 5 a.m. in the morning tonight. So we'll see. We'll see. That's what we got going. That's what I'm doing in my retirement, is first relaxing, trying to get the back in shape. By Wednesday, it was feeling a little better. Today, not so bad, but that's why we haven't unloaded the truck. We don't want to lift anything too heavy right away until we